Let's just dive right in. Look, if you've been in literally any business meeting lately, you've probably heard the terms AI and automation tossed around like they mean the exact same thing. But actually, they describe fundamentally different capabilities. Using them interchangeably, that is a super common and frankly, a very costly misconception. Knowing the actual difference is absolutely crucial. It helps you make much better technology decisions, it ensures you aren't overspending on the wrong tools, and honestly, it empowers you to have highly credible conversations with vendors and your leadership team. So I want you to ask yourself a question. Do you know the real difference between tools that simply follow rules and tools that actually think? You see, for most of computer history, software only did exactly what we told it to do, in very specific, rigid ways. We wrote the rules, and the machine followed them to the letter. But today, that boundary has totally shifted. To lead effectively in this modern era, especially as working professionals stepping into the future of tech, it's critical we understand how to distinguish between these two. But before we break down exactly how these tools differ, I want to quickly remind you, subscribe to the channel now to ensure you are not missing on our new knowledge content on AI. We're consistently breaking down these complex topics into super easy to understand videos so you can stay way ahead of the curve. Okay, so let's think of traditional automation as a digital clerk. It's fast, it's tireless, and it's incredibly efficient, but it's strictly bound by if-then logic. It doesn't actually try to understand the data at all. It just processes it. Like, a clerk might be programmed to automatically flag any financial transaction over $10,000. Boom, totally predictable. On the flip side, artificial intelligence acts a lot more like an investigator. AI aims to simulate human thinking. Instead of just flagging a flat dollar amount, an AI investigator analyzes subtle signals, unusual behavioral trends, purchasing times, or weird locations, to predict the likelihood of fraud. And it can do this even if that specific scenario was never explicitly programmed. It's probabilistic, meaning it's literally playing the odds based on patterns. Let's look at another real-world scenario to really make this stick: a busy customer support inbox. If you use traditional automation, often called robotic process automation or RPA, it acts exactly like that digital clerk. It spots a keyword, say the word broken, and immediately routes the message to the returns department. Is it fast? Yes, absolutely. But it has zero idea how the customer is actually feeling. An AI system, though, understands the nuance. It detects a customer's growing frustration in the text and can actually craft a highly customized, empathetic reply. So automation simply moves the email while AI actually understands the context. Huge difference, right? Now this builds into what is probably the most significant shift for professionals in the coming years: agentic process automation, or APA. Think of this as giving the AI agency or independence. This right here is the ultimate synergy between these two fields. While traditional automation is limited to simple one-off tasks, APA enables AI agents to handle really complex, multi-step workflows totally on their own. We're moving way beyond just automating the doing. We are now automating the thinking. This allows the software to plan, guide, and adapt to changing conditions in real time. It's honestly a real game changer. So what does this actually look like in practice? Let's take an everyday IT issue, where a standard AI chatbot might just tell an engineer how to fix a bug. An agentic system acts independently. First, it reads the entire code base to understand the context. Then, it identifies the root cause of the bug. Next, it actually writes the fix and runs the tests to make sure it works. And finally, it notifies the engineer that the problem is totally solved. It does all of this without needing human handholding at every single step. It actively pursues a goal. It doesn't just sit there waiting for a prompt. And this distinction brilliantly illustrates why knowing the difference really matters for your budget. Look, a major issue right now is AI washing. That's where vendors slap an AI sticker on a basic spreadsheet macro and try to charge you double. You've got to match the tool to the task. If you have strict compliance decisions, like standard expense approvals that require line-by-line, fully auditable logic, just use traditional automation. If you need to understand unstructured text, use large language models, which is the tech behind things like ChatGPT. But if you need autonomous, multi-step workflows, that's when you deploy agentic AI. The golden rule here: always start with the problem you're trying to solve, not the technology. Ultimately, this distinction fundamentally defines your return on investment. You can deploy these models for basic data analysis, embed them into your systems for automation, or use them to directly assist your people, which we call augmentation. Simple automation usually returns short-term productivity gains, mostly because it's just replacing manual data entry. But AI provides a massive, scalable impact. It augments your human workers, completely taking the robotic, repetitive tasks off their plates.
That way, your team can focus on high-level strategy, complex problem solving, and unlocking entirely new revenue opportunities.
Which brings us to our final thought for this video. How does this distinction between the rule-following clerk and the thinking investigator actually change how you evaluate your current projects? Are there workflows in your HR or finance departments that you now realize could totally be agentified? Before we wrap up, I would love to know, what is your current familiarity level with AI and automation? Drop your thoughts in the comments below so I can tailor our next steps to your specific goals. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll see you in the next video.